Hi Yonah, ich wollte zwei Sachen sagen von dieser erste Stück von Baba Batra. There are two terms that I think are important for you to know if you haven't gone over them, because they're not necessarily terms that we looked at in class. So the first term that comes up a lot is mibayale, right? Mibayale. So ba'aya is like a problem, but mibayale means like it is necessary. Like ba'inan is like we need in Aramaic. So that's a good word to know. So when it says mi bayale, it means like it needed to say this. So it always says something mi bayale. So it means that something it needed to say that, and because it didn't, we can learn kind of something from it. That's an important piece to know. And then the second piece where they're talking about, and so they're kind of the second piece where I don't have in the video, but the next piece right after that where they're saying like it is pshita, meaning like the Mishnah makes an obvious claim, right? It says that if you're dividing if two people want to divide and you're dividing, you make the division in the middle of the courtyard, right? Half and half. And they're like, of course, that is like completely logical. So it's pashita. It's like it's pashut. It's simple. It's like, why would the Mishnah need to say something that's so obvious? And the Talmud loves asking that question, right? Pshita, right? Why was it okay? But then they use this term called that goes mahu de tema dot 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 kamashmalan. Okay, so, mahu de tema means this. And this is a phrase that comes up often in the Talmud, right? Mahu de tema is, what might you have thought? So basically, they're trying to prove why it's not so pashut and simple that it says divide in the middle, right? That seems very logical. And they're saying, why do we need to state that? Why did the Mishnah need to say that? Because if it didn't state it, you would have thought something else. So here they're going to say, what might you have thought? Mahu detema, what might you have thought? And here you might have thought that if, even though they both agreed, maybe one of the person was really the one who initiated the process and really wanted to make sure there was a wall, and the other one was like, okay, I agree, but I'm only agreeing to something very thin, or I'm only agreeing to kind of a wall that's more on your side than my side. I don't really want this wall, but because I want to be nice, I'm being nice. So it seems like that actually maybe it shouldn't be right in the middle. It should be more towards the side of the one who really does want the wall. And so the kamash malan means we learn from this that no, that in that case where one of them clearly really wants the wall much more than the other one, you even still need to put it right in the middle. The one who doesn't want it, even though they're being nice, they still are saying if you're making a mechitza, you have to make it kind of in the middle of the courtyard, so each of you have an even amount. And that wall, no matter how thick it is, if it's 4 amot, it needs to be like 2 amot on this side, 2 amot on this side, or half a amot, but it needs to be equal. So, but that phrase, kamashmalan, mahu detema shalo, like for instance, um, like if I were to say Yonah is so tall that he couldn't sleep in his first bed in Israel, right? And we're like, you know, I mean that's obvious. Yonah is so tall, so it's obvious that he would not be able to sleep in the beds in Israel. So why do we need mahu detema? What right? It doesn't need to say anything about how it would have been hard for him to sleep. That's logical, right? So we're saying, wait a second, but mahu detema, what might you have thought if if it didn't say he can't sleep in the beds, right? You might have thought that actually in all other beds in the world, Yonah has trouble sleeping, but in Israel, actually, it's different because beds are larger because Israelis are naturally much taller. But Kamash Malan, it comes to teach you that just like all the other beds are one size, so Israel too has the same size bed. So it's kind of like why do we need to say something that seems so obvious? We need to say it because it teaches us something that we wouldn't have, like there's a situation that we would have thought to be true. That's why the Mishnah comes and kind of makes sure we know that that's not true. and that actually something else holds to be true. So that phrase, mahu detema, kamash malan, shelo. Usually it's kamash malan shelo. Like, that's, therefore we learn that actually what we thought might have been true, if it hadn't been written, is not true. And it's not true because, and that's why the Mishnah states that, to make sure that we know that it's not true. I haven't done the next part, but that's the pshita, and those are two good phrases to know. So mi bayale, and then bayina means like he needs or asks, or baya, and then right, like ba'e is also like to ask about a halacha. So that word ba'e has multiple meanings, but here it means like tsarich, like needed, and then mahu detema kamash malan, and then you have to supply the words shelo, that no, it's not. That therefore we learned that actually that case that we thought would probably work doesn't work because the Mishnah says that.